Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Beth and today I'm going to be talking about self-care. Just a note from editing Beth, I'm so sorry but my face is not in focus for the whole video, but I'm not re-recording it. You're just going to have to see me a little bit blurry, I'm sorry. Love you. Which is a topic that is very dear to my heart because it's something that I practice every single day, and without it I don't know how I'd cope, to be honest. I'm somebody who struggles with mental health issues and a skin condition, and I generally get quite burnt out just from daily life. And being able to implement self-care practices really helps me to stay grounded and to stay more level throughout my life. So yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about today. And a big thing I wanted to talk about before I get into some good self-care techniques is what self-care isn't. Because I find that self-care is so often misunderstood and misrepresented on social media, specifically places like TikTok. It is very often shown to be something that's heavily reliant on products, especially hygiene products. There are many hauls on TikTok titled self-care hauls, which I'm going to show a couple on the screen as I'm talking about this. And this is no hate to these people who make these videos, but it is damaging in my opinion because this isn't genuine self-care that is going to help you. It is just a way for companies to get you to spend more money on their products and to feel like you're reliant on their products. Yeah, I see a lot of these videos about people going around like Boots or Target or whatever kind of drugstore or shop, and they spend an insane amount of money on body scrubs and moisturizers and bath bombs and face masks. Face masks is the really big one, I feel like, for self-care. It's what a lot of people first think when they think of self-care. It's, oh, a face mask and a bath. Which, don't get me wrong, can be a part of self-care for some people, depending on your needs, but it is not the be-all and end-all, and you do not need products to practice it. So that's what self-care isn't, is products and skincare and so on, inherently, not just those things. Like I said, it can be a part of a self-care routine. For me, I have a skin condition, I have eczema, that is quite sore at the moment, so for me, using skincare and etc. can actually be really helpful for me and puts me out a lot of pain and soreness that I would otherwise be in. But there are so many other things that I implement into my life that really help me from overwhelm, and they do not rely on spending money. So yeah, just don't ever think that because you don't have any money to spend on a bunch of stuff that you can't look after yourself and take care of yourself. Just remember that self-care is so much more than buying things. I feel like I repeated myself a lot there, but it's just something that I want to get across properly because I think it's just so important that people understand that. Self-care can be so many different things depending on your individual needs as a person. Depending on what relaxes you and what you struggle with. Personally, when I'm stressed, the first thing that goes out the window is I stop feeding myself. I don't nourish my body, I don't look after myself properly, and I will just eat whatever is very quick and easy to consume, and then I feel way worse. So a really big self-care thing for me is cooking for myself and nourishing my body and listening to my body's needs and respecting that. It's not starving myself, it's really taking the time to look after my body properly. And that's something I don't see in these self-care videos, is like nourishing your body on the inside, like properly nourishing it, not just slapping a cream on and calling it a day. For me also, this is probably not one of the things you think of when it comes to self-care, but I get a lot of background stress from, say, if I have an email to send or I have a bill to pay or some sort of little chore that I need to get out of the way that I've been putting off. Sometimes the biggest self-care thing I can do for myself is getting that out of the way. Even if it's 5 minutes of, ugh, I don't want to do this, the elation I feel afterwards is just so nice, and it allows me to be able to actually relax properly and shut my brain off without obsessing over it in the back of my mind, but just putting it off because, oh, I want to relax. Sometimes relaxing is doing the thing you really need to do, and then you can relax. I used to as well, just when I thought, oh, I need to have a self-care night, I'd run a bath for myself, which is great. But then I'd sit in the bath and I would be on my phone the whole time scrolling, which is not self-care. You're not giving your brain a break. And it is just, it's going from the sofa and scrolling to going in the bath and scrolling. And I've done that for so long because it is kind of scary to be in your own thoughts sometimes. As somebody who is kind of addicted to social media, it's difficult. But the most amazing thing I did the other day, and it sounds so simple, was just having a bath by candlelight and having no phone, not even a book, just nothing. And I just sat there and I just relaxed and I enjoyed the bath. And it sounds so stupid, but something as simple as that is so just relieving. If you don't do that. If you already do it, great, keep doing it. But I know a lot of people do stay on their phone in the bath. And on the topic of phones and technology, a really big thing you can do for yourself is to set boundaries in regards to them. Taking days where you don't go on your phone or you don't go on social media is very, very beneficial. And it's so easy to forget that it's not natural for us to be constantly glued to a device because it's so entrenched in our daily lives at this point. But if you take even an hour or however long you can away from your phone, it genuinely is just such a good feeling, and your brain needs that break. Sometimes I think from even doing anything, because I read every night and that's great, but sometimes even taking time from just not doing anything, no reading, no consuming, literally just sitting with your thoughts. That is a form of meditation. Even just because you don't have your eyes closed and you're humming doesn't mean you're not meditating. I think just allowing your thoughts to come and go and not judging them, just allowing them to be there and not trying to shoo them away by watching TikToks. That's very, very beneficial for you. Another big one is movement, and whatever kind of movement you enjoy doing. That can be going to the gym, or which I doubt is a lot of people, because going to the gym sometimes is so rigid and just not the most fun unless it's something that you do as a hobby. But it can be stretching, or it can be yoga, or it can be pole dancing, or going to a dance class, or swimming, or whatever you enjoy doing. But when you're feeling down, sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to get some movement in and to exercise, because it does release endorphins, and it's sometimes the last thing you want to do is really what you need to be doing for yourself. And I think that's the point I'm trying to create here, is that self-care isn't always just this pretty little cream in a pink pot. It's, sometimes it's doing what you kind of don't want to do, and then you will feel so much better during and after. It's looking out for yourself in a way that goes more than just past the surface. It's genuinely looking at what you need as a person and what is lacking in your life and following through with that. So for me, just a very low stakes, easy sort of movement is just stretching. I just put some slow music on and I just stretch however my body wants me to. You can watch a YouTube video, whatever you want to do, but the relief my body feels when I do that, it's like, God, I forgot how good this feels to just stretch my body. It's definitely something I need to do more, and I mean, so are most of these things, to be honest. Just listening to your body, things like having a good sleep schedule, having good sleep hygiene, getting enough rest, exercising when you need to, just whatever your body is really asking you, listen to it. Even sometimes, I'll be sitting there on my phone. The phone is always the issue here. And I'll really need to go and pee, and I put it off for ages because I don't listen to my body. And I think it's something a lot of people struggle with now. People from, younger people from our generation, we struggle to listen to our own bodies because we just want to be distracted constantly, but sometimes just tuning in is just really, really what you need. And going back to the issue of the misconception of self-care with products and everything, sometimes, again, depending on the individual, the best thing you can do is not spend money. You know, if you're struggling financially, like me, if you don't have a big income or any income, like me, being aware of your finances and being honest with yourself about what you can and cannot afford goes a long way. Because sure, it might feel great, the dopamine hit you get when you first buy something, but most of the time, at least for myself, I feel really crap like 20 minutes after, or after I've opened it, because I'm like, great, I'm even further into debt now, and I have this other thing lying around that actually doesn't really make a difference to my life at all. So yeah, having boundaries with yourself in terms of finances and all the other things I've already spoken about is very important. And talking about boundaries as well, I think having boundaries with the people in your life is also very important to take care of yourself, because there's some people that maybe we do need to keep at arm's length, or there's just certain things we need to request in our relationships and friendships, and that's okay. Advocating for yourself and being there for yourself is very important. But yeah, I think it really comes down to yourself as an individual. Some people have very, very busy day-to-day lives, and what they really need to do for themselves is to allow themselves to rest. I've known people throughout my life that are the opposite to me, and they will just constantly be doing things, and they won't say no to anything, and they'll make plans constantly, and they never ever allow themselves rest, and I do see that coming back to bite them. And then there's other people like myself who I probably don't do enough, because I have struggled with depression and a lot of anxiety. But now that I'm trying to work on that and improve that, I do recognize that I need to do more for myself. I need to socialize more with people. I need to exercise a little bit more. And I am trying to slowly improve those things. Something I'd maybe recommend doing is getting a notepad or writing it in your notes in your phone or whatever you can write it down on. Maybe write down a list of things that have been bothering you recently or creating stress in your life or discomfort, and then looking at how you might be able to alleviate these things. If it is that you're just super, super busy, taking time to slow down would be great. Or if it's somebody in your life that you need to communicate with, sometimes having that uncomfortable communication is the best thing you can do for yourself to alleviate the anxiety around that. Yeah, just remember that it comes from within. Self-care does, and very rarely comes from items and commodity. I decided to make this video today because I'm ill. I've got a cold from my boyfriend who's just got better, and now he's given it to me. My period's starting in a day. My eczema's bad at the moment, and I'm just generally really burnt out. So I'm gonna have a nice self-care evening. I'm gonna have a bath. I'm not gonna take my phone in. I'm going to read my book about anxiety. It's all about anxiety and how it exists in the body and the anatomy of it. I'm going to make a lovely meal for myself, and then I'm going to make some pancakes, and I'm going to do a jigsaw. Just something slow to wind down whilst I listen to an audiobook before bed, and I'm going to spend some nice time with my partner when he gets home from work. So I'm just going to slow down. And probably before all those things, I am going to give my flat a little clean, because that's something that's been stressing me out, and it's something that I need to do. I really hope this video has helped you, even if it's a little bit. If you have made this far in the video, I applaud you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. And if you have, then leave me a comment so I know, telling me one thing that you implement in your life for self-care, because I'm interested in how different people combat their stress, and who knows, we might all be able to help each other with some new techniques, and especially help me because I'm stressed at the moment. Please help me. But yeah, I hope you have a lovely evening or morning or night or whatever time of day it is, and I love you, and yeah, bye-bye.